What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law, and as you can see, I have questions. But before we get into it, this is definitely about what I said about the defensive line and all of that situation with the coaching. But before we get into that, I do want to acknowledge, sorry I haven't had the content out. 2 weeks ago I had internet, or 3 weeks ago I had internet problems. 2 weeks ago I was sick, and then this past week my cat. My cat. Here. Come on, bro. If you don't know, his name is Shadow. This is my cat, Shadow. Say hi, Shadow. Yeah. You'll probably hear him during this recording. He has been lethargic, not eating, not drinking, and got a horrible cough and gag. Same symptoms that his brother had this time last year when he died after starving to death for about 30 days. It was awful. I just called the vet. They said that I can get him in, but it'd be $60 plus $35 per x-ray, so there's going to be a couple x-rays. You'll probably hear him coughing and gagging here in the background, so he sits around me all the time. He sits around me while I watch live streams, when I do live stream on games and stuff. He doesn't even purr right now while I'm... Oh, there he goes. Aww. But he's had it for a week, ain't been able to get him to the vet because of the simple fact. Aww. Every time I come up with enough money, something else comes up. I just ain't been able to. So if you guys can help, there's a donation thing right here. Streamlabs, that's the biggest thing. That'll get me the money right now. If you want to donate, and it's just like a super chat, just use the Streamlabs donation. I'd appreciate it. Any help would be much, much appreciated. Got an appointment at 10:30 in the morning tomorrow. So, with the vet, hopefully it'll take care of it. You guys are always so awesome and coming through for me when I need it. But let's get into actual why we're here. All right. I don't understand why Ollie, why we didn't keep him. I don't understand it. I thought he was a really good defensive line coach. And I know this is old news. I get it. But I have been going over this in my head over and over and over and over ever since that news dropped about not keeping Ollie. And I still can't figure out why. I mean, I thought the defensive line, for the talent that we had overall, did a good job. Right? Granted, we didn't have a lot of pressures and quarterback hits. We broke the record for sacks, right? A team record for the Indianapolis Colts, and we did okay in that aspect. I don't feel like that was Ollie's issue. I think he had what he had with that. So I would have rather kept him. Now, I understand Mike Mitchell. Hey, you know what? Our secondary was not doing good this year. Even though we had a lot of rookies and things of that nature, our secondary was bad all the way around. Safeties and corners, okay? Especially our safeties. Our safeties was terrible. And Mike Mitchell is there for that. And so I get why we're moved on from Mike Mitchell. But Ollie makes 0 sense to me. I feel like we should have kept him. And I can't think of anyone that's out there. And I know that there was a bunch of news articles about, everybody's got an opinion on, who they should get. But I don't like I just... Look, I get that we got Charlie Partridge, okay, from Pitt. But we just got that. And I don't know Charlie, okay? I don't know much about Charlie Partridge from Pitt. Ugh. I know that he's considered one of the best, but I figured Nate Ollie was one of the best in the NFL. So why did we move on? It's just sad. Just sad. All right, so I'm going to read to you what the Indy Star has about this hiring that happened 2 days ago. The Colts have dipped into the college ranks to find their next defensive line coach. Indianapolis hired Charlie Partridge, former head coach of Florida Atlantic, spent the last 7 years as defensive line coach at Pittsburgh, and is widely respected as one of the best defensive line coaches at the collegiate level. Right? That's collegiate, though. My heart is heavy and full of gratitude for Pitt and Pittsburgh. Partridge wrote on social media, I am honored to have this opportunity to be a DL coach in the NFL. It's time, and I am excited to coach football. Partridge, 50 years old, never coached in the NFL. He has a long history of producing NFL defensive linemen and will be taking over for Nate Ollie, the Ball State product whose contract was not renewed, which was, like I said, utterly confusing to me. As a coach and mentor, Partridge said, has been vital to our program's rise over the last 7 years. Pittsburgh head coach, Pat said, Narduzzi. When I hired him in 2017, I had high aspirations for the type of impact he would make for us. True to form, Charlie surpassed even those expectations. So I'm hoping that he could transfer this from the collegiate level to the NFL level, but the NFL is a massive jump in talent, right? Things are done differently, even in the pass rush and run stopping, because things are blocked and schemes are a bit different at the NFL level than they are at the college level. So we're taking a chance here when we had Nate Ollie. And I thought Nate Ollie was good at his job. Look, those of you who think that our defensive line was bad because of the pass, because of, pressure rates, quarterback hits, quarterback hurries, I get it and I understand. And then on top of that, when Grover Stewart wasn't in, our run defense wasn't very good. But I think that was more of a talent, what the talent was, more than what Nate Ollie was, right? I really, really do feel that way. I feel like we're missing a true good backup for Grover Stewart. God help us. I hope we keep Grover this year, this offseason. And then, of course, our edge rushers, Ibukam and Pay, they're not consistent pressure guys. They're not guys who get in there and force the quarterback to throw early. It's more of a team effort, rely a little bit on coverage. This is why I feel like we need a lot of help in the secondary, right? I don't feel like this was Nate Ollie's problem. I don't feel like this is the defensive line's problem. I feel like this was more of a coverage situation that we had. Now, this is Partridge going to do well? I don't know. I hope. But again, like I said, going from college to the NFL, we'll see. Today, a lot of you are talking about so maybe it had to do with money. Maybe they didn't want to pay Nate Ollie because he has had success in the NFL and maybe he wanted more money. And, hiring a college guy who's never been in the NFL would be cheaper than someone who's had success like Nate Ollie. Maybe that's why they're going for that. I don't know, but I would not want the Colts to go cheap. And that sure as hell does not look good on the Ballard situation that, Ballard and his company, they've been blasted over the last 6 years for going cheap when it comes to players and stuff of that nature. When it comes to coaching, coaching is something incredibly important. Incredibly important. So hopefully Partridge works out. And, I'm sure Nate will get a job if he hasn't already. I haven't looked. But I'm sure he'll get a job somewhere very, very good. As for Mike Mitchell, I hope Mike, I don't know what's going on with him either. I really hope that, he has success wherever he goes and whatever he decides to do. I think he was something about coaching high school or something of that nature. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I read that somewhere. I might be mistaken. But a lot of players and former coaches will sometimes quit to coach their, children's, high school or middle school teams. That happens a lot. I mean, a lot in the NFL with former players and coaches and things of that. So, let me know your thoughts. Were you happy with Nate Ollie? And what do you think of hiring Partridge? Do you think that this is a really good move? Not renewing the contract of a proven defensive line coach to get someone who is unproven at the NFL level, but is, very, very good at the collegiate level? I'd like to know your thoughts about that. Also, again, I appreciate you guys holding out on for, what I was talking about with my cat Shadow. Hopefully I get him. Like I said, it's 10:30 in the morning tomorrow. If you do any donations on YouTube, I won't get that until next month. But if you use the Streamlabs, which the link is in the description of the video right down here, just click. You could use it as a super chat as well. No matter how much, a dollar or whatever, really, really helps. $60 to get in just to see him, and then $35 per x-ray so that they can find out what's going on so they can make a choice of action to help him. I do not want to go through this again where, just like his brother last year, it took him a month. And then when he passed away, he literally passed away 1 year ago, 1 year and 1 week ago, right? And then my father passed away just not long from now, a year ago, right afterwards. It was terrible situation. It bringing back horrible memories for me. But that's why I haven't been putting out the content, because my cat's been dealing with that. I have went through some film. I just haven't recorded because he's with me all the time, and he gags every 15 minutes or so, like coughs and gags real loud, and it ends up on the camera and the microphone, and I'm sorry. I can't be away from him. I got to be there for him. But thanks so much for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. And as usual, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. I will drop my Believe. I will be getting my Believe out today as well. As usual, have a good one.